So let us talk about effectiveness of monetary policy. Effectiveness, monetary policy effectiveness in an economy with fixed exchange rate and partial mobility of capital. Okay. We are going to talk about a fixed exchange rate where exchange rate cannot change, because if exchange rate cannot change, then we may face some problem in attaining the equilibrium. So again, I will be going through with the four-panel diagram and will be explaining the concept with the construction of diagram only. Let's draw the four-panel diagram. Now, I told you people that open economy LM curve is basically different from the closed economy LM curve, because open economy LM curve contains what do you say, the foreign exchange assets, because the total money supply that is the sum of domestic credits and foreign exchange assets. So that's why we are going to use the same concept here in explaining the effectiveness of monetary policy in an economy where exchange rate is fixed. Let us do one thing. We will be constructing an IS curve. Okay, an IS curve will be constructed. Obviously, we have this 45-degree line to convert the income axis. Let me repeat once again. This is rate of interest. Here we have level of income, level of income, level of income. Here we have exchange rate. Here also we have exchange rate. Okay. Then we have exchange rate. We have rate of interest here and level of income here. This is my IS curve. Okay. This is an IS curve drawn for obviously G0 government expenditure and E0 exchange rate. I'm telling you that exchange rate is fixed. So let us suppose initial equilibrium is at this point. Right. This is my LM curve with DC node domestic credits and FE node foreign exchange assets. Okay. This is my balance of payment curve with E node exchange rate. So my initial equilibrium is at point P, where IS, LM, and BP curves, they are intersecting each other, right? So this is my equilibrium. Now, let us suppose, let me first of all draw these points. From equilibrium, I will draw the level of income and equilibrium interest rates. Okay. This is my level of income, equilibrium interest rate, and further suppose that equilibrium interest rate are known, and this is my this exchange rate E naught. E naught is my exchange rate, initial equilibrium exchange rate. R naught is equilibrium interest rate, R naught. Y naught equilibrium income. And around this income, there is obviously here income and exchange rate curves are given, and so my net exports curve is passing through this point, and let it be point Q. Let it be point Q where my current account is in equilibrium. Okay, because point Q is lying at nx is equal to 0. Okay, net exports is equal to 0 line. This is the net exports is equal to 0 line. Now let us suppose let's suppose, let us draw this foreign flow curve. Draw the setup curve also. FF drawn for Y naught level of income. Mm, let us suppose rate of interest falls. Okay, or let us suppose the domestic credits are expanded to increase money supply. Means the central bank is operating through credit channel, and it enhances domestic credits to means central government and to commercial banks of the country, and due to which this LM curve shifts to say LM EC1 and FE foreign exchange node. So money supply is increased by expanding the domestic credits from DC node to DC1, and so your LM curve will shift to right. It means now you will be at point M. Let it be point M. Now point M is a temporary equilibrium because here IS and LM both are equal. But this equilibrium, what is happening? I show you. Income rises is at this temporary equilibrium, and the new level of income here is this much. With the same exchange rate, actually you have to talk about at E naught and Y one level of income. This is Y level of income. The combination is lying at point, say point R. This is point R. Okay, the combination is lying at point R, right? Obviously, this point R is what do you say, to the left of net exports curve. So net exports are in deficit. Okay, we can say that current account is in deficit, right? Exchange rate will remain fixed E naught because it is not flexible, so it is not going to change at all. So if it is not going to change, balance of payment curve will not shift to right, right? I'm once again repeating that your exchange rate is fixed. Uh, when exchange rate is flexible, what happens generally when LM curve will shift to right due to depreciation in the current account, even capital account will be in depreciation because this new rate of interest and level of income is higher. So at FFY1, exchange rate E naught and give me that rate of interest with this FF curve has to shift to right. So basically this is R1. Okay. Now R1 E naught combination will give me FF Y naught, FF Y1, still Y1 is greater. So this has to be, to the, this will shift to right. It won't be situated at this point, let me tell you. Uh, Most of the time what we say, it can be situated here, but it won't be situated here. It has to shift to right because income has increased. So R1 interest rate and E0 will give us an FF point with higher level of income. So FF has to shift to right. FF Y1, okay. Lower interest rate, higher income, so your foreign flows means capital account will be in deficit. There is deficit in current account at point R. What will happen? There will be overall deficit at point M in balance of payment. Now, due to this deficit, if exchange rate is flexible, exchange rate will fall and BP curve will shift to right. Issue is now exchange rate is not flexible, it is fixed. When exchange rate is fixed, we can't shift the balance of payment curve to right. Is there will be huge deficit in balance of payment. Uh, this deficit now will be financed. How obviously this deficit has to be financed because ultimately equilibrium will exist when balance of payment is in equilibrium. So since BP is not equilibrium here and there will be huge disturbance in the economy, uh, what will happen in that case? The deficit will be financed by spending your foreign exchange assets. Okay, so it will adversely affect the stock of foreign exchange assets, right? And once foreign exchanges will fall, you will come back on this path. I'm drawing arrows from point M to P. So economy will come back at point P. So ultimately, there will be no effect of monetary policy. There will be no effect of monetary policy in the economy in the long run. What we can do, we can explain point by point this mechanism. Number one, monetary policy is exercised by increasing domestic credits from DC node to DC1, and so LM curve shifts to LM DC1 FE node. FE node are the foreign exchange assets which are already given to us from LM DC node FE node, right? Number two, at point M, economy is in short run equilibrium where IS intersect LM, right? However, this point lies to the right of BP curve and so explains BP deficit. This deficit we can take it as third point. This deficit is because of current account deficit that occurs because of increase in income from Y0 to Y1 and deficit in capital account that occurs because of lower interest rate. R1 in comparison to R node. Okay, so BP deficit is because of deficit in two accounts. The deficit is met through ending foreign exchange as exchange rate is fixed and BP curve cannot shift to right? So what happens? The economy will come back at old equilibrium point P with lesser foreign exchange assets FE1. Okay, lesser foreign exchange assets FE1. In sum, exercising monetary policy under fixed exchange rate regime has following outcomes. Number one, a decline in interest rate and increase in income with deterioration in current and capital account in short run. Number two, A decline in foreign exchange reserves. A decline in foreign exchange reserves without any change in income rate of interest and balance of payment situation in long run. But if this is the effectiveness of monetary policy in an economy where exchange rate is fixed and capital is what do you say, partially mobile, not the fully mobile. Okay. If you have any question, you people can discuss right now. Any question, please discuss. Any problem? Chaliye, tomorrow we'll be talking about fixed exchange rate and fiscal policy. Then the trinity of the international trinity we will be discussing. Hmm. Either we can go with the combination of capital account convertibility and fully flexible exchange rate by losing the what you say monetary independence, or any two out of the three combinations can be achieved as per international trinity, and you will have to lose the third combination obviously. So that trinity will be discussed tomorrow. Right now, I hope this thing is clear to you people. How there is no effectiveness of monetary policy in long run when economy is a fixed exchange rate. Economy is following the policy of fixed exchange rate and what you say partial capital mobility. Thank you so much. We'll meet tomorrow. And now I will be taking your attendance.